Hello there everyone, welcome back, and today I am demonstrating my top 5 Nerf blasters for the 2021 calendar year. Now, before we begin, I'd like to note firstly that this list is subjective in my opinion, so make sure to keep that in mind. It's not absolute. And secondly, that all prices that are listed in this video will be in United States dollars. So keep that in mind because prices will vary depending upon country as well as region. So, let's begin. Number 5, the Nerf Cronus barrel. Now this interesting thing here is a Nerf attachment, so it attaches onto the front of a blaster with a in-strike barrel lug, and it acts effectively as a barrel counter and also measures just how fast your blaster is firing. So you can see, for instance, if you have a flywheel blaster, you can see if your batteries are running low, or you can see just generally how your blaster is performing versus where you want it to and versus where it should. It is quite interesting because most of the attachments don't have a function this way, so that actually makes this probably the most functional and usable Nerf attachment that's out on the market as of right now. So that makes this the number 5 on our list. Now, number 4, the 6-SH. The Nerf Fortnite blaster. Now this, which I've done a review on, is a 6-shot revolver type blaster that there's not a whole lot of things to know about it. There aren't a whole lot of details, but it is interesting. It's a 6-dart blaster that is actually pretty similar to the Nerf hammer shot. It's you prime it with the hammer, then you fire it, and for instance, and the advantage to this over something such as a strong arm's that you can prime it and fire it with one hand versus a strong arm which has a magazine, or sorry, the top prime. And overall, I actually prefer this to the hammer shot. I prefer the feel of the grip. Of course, that is subjective, but overall, I quite like this, even for someone who's not a Fortnite fan, such as myself. This is a very good blaster that is very good at its price point and is probably one of the best on the market, even though it is a little more expensive than the strong arm or any of the comparable 6-shot blasters at about $16. Now, number 3 for me would be the Nexus Pro. Now, this blaster, which was recently, well, when I say recently, I mean last year. It was released by Adventure Force, or by Dart Zone under the Adventure Force brand, and this is it's a performer, firing about 150 feet per second, which is roughly twice the speed of a normal Nerf blaster, which is quite impressive of itself. Though it is notable that it only costs about $50. Now about 50 to 60, but that's still quite cheap for a blaster, which most performance blasters of its ilk typically cost at least $100. So it's a very good value for anyone who's looking to enter the sort of performance blaster market. Though of course it is important to note that it's intended for people that are 14 and up, so it's not really meant for a younger person. So make sure to keep that in mind if you're looking for this to give it to someone as a Christmas present. Now, number 2 is the Nerf Rival Cronus. Oh, don't want to hit the table. Nerf Rival Cronus. This is basically what I'd say is a good entry level to the Rival line for anyone who is used to a dart blaster. And for instance, and again, like the Nexus Pro, it's a bit more of a performance blaster. So you really want this to be for someone who's 14 and up, or around that age. Not really intended for younger people. So also keep that in mind for this blaster. But overall, it's a 5-shot blaster with an internal magazine with a top prime. And prime is of decent strength and launches the rival balls at about 90 to 100 feet per second, which overall it's a nice solid blaster. And if anyone is looking to enter the rival field, this is a very good starting place for it, which makes it the number 2 on our list. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the number one. And what I'd say the number one on the list for this year is the Adventure Force Villainator. Now this blaster, which I've done a review on by Dart Zone under the Adventure Force Brine line, is a powerhouse, an absolute powerhouse. It's a brilliant blaster. Now, what makes it so great and one of the best blasters I've seen is the fact that it's comparable to, say, an Alpha Trooper, which it's a pump action Springer blaster. Though compared to the Alpha Trooper, which isn't really in production anymore, so it's harder to get, it uses a drum as opposed to magazines. So if you don't really have a whole lot of magazines, or if the person that you're getting this for they're not really that experienced in the Nerf line, and they don't have a ton of the external box magazines, which can add up in cost. This is a 40. It's a 40 dart drum, and it is quite impressive. Its ability to hold all that capacity, which means that overall that plus the fact that it's only about $20, which is quite good value. Plus the fact that it actually performs better than a comparable Nerf blaster, firing about 70 to 80 feet per second as opposed to about 60 to 70. So it's a better performer than the comparable Nerf blaster. It's cheaper than a comparable Nerf blaster, and it's more beginner friendly than an entry level Nerf blaster. Than Nerf blaster that's comparable to it, which overall makes it my number one top pick for 2021. Now, a honorable mention that I would like to mention is a wafflehead dart, which this is a Adventure Force type, which I quite like since they're nice and reliable. But if you compare them to Elite Dart, which I've done a video on this, why the Elite Dart isn't very good, but suffice it to say, they're not very accurate and they're a bit more expensive than they probably need to be. So overall, if you're looking to get some darts for someone, or a stocking stuffer perhaps, for someone who only really uses the Elite darts, get some sort of a wafflehead dart, which this is an example of one, Adventure Force 1. There are others out there, and ones are even cheaper than this. Though these you can get them for you can get 200 for about $10 from Walmart, which is very good value, and much better value than any deal you'd get from Nerf. But overall, anyone who's looking to get some more darts or to upgrade the darts, waffleheads are the way to go. And there's different brands, but Adventure Force did right by me, and they'll probably do right by you. Yeah. That's it for the blasters, though. Of course, I'll go on to mention the fact that this is the holidays, so, with all the Christmas lists and holiday spirit and everything, overall, it is important to note that especially for the younger Nerfers out there, for the younger members of the audience, these are of course toys and are things that you want to get for Christmas. But if you don't get the exact ones you want, or if you wanted a more expensive one, or you wanted one that was, I don't know, bigger or better in your eyes, sometimes it's important to take a step back and get some perspective that at the end of the day, it's important to be thankful that you're getting these all, because they're gifts. They're not. It isn't like a transaction where you're buying something or you're trading something. It's a gift that's given by someone to you effectively for free, and chances are these, especially if it's your parents, it's going to be someone who's paying for your food, for your shelter, for boarding, etc. They're paying for school, they're paying for all those things, and those costs can add up, plus, all the various other things that go into the expenses of being a parent and raising a child. So it's important to note that at the end of the day, just be thankful for the things that you do have, and that Nerf blasters, although they're cool, at the end of the day, the holidays are about, this is a bit subjective, but at the end of the day, the most important aspect of the holidays is having the holiday spirit and being thankful for what you have and being able to spend time with people that you appreciate. And overall, that is what the holidays are about. But irregardless of that, that's my top 5 list for the holiday blasters of 2021. And overall, hope you have happy holidays and hope you have a good day, everybody.